Boom. Hey, Internets. Had a good question from Eric Herrera. And this is a specific screen printing question, but he's asking if screen printers use different kinds of ink or paint that basically last long, that don't wash out or break off. Good question. And, the general answer is yes, I'll say that. But having owned a high volume screen printing company, I'll tell you that not all screen printers have the same work ethic. It's like a garage shop or something. It's blue collar work, so you want to make sure you do diligence. Like I've said before in other videos, you want to have a couple screen printers back up because guys could falter. You could be on a different position in the totem pole for them. But for this technical question, so plastisol is probably the most popular. That's the one where you could feel the ink when it's kind of absorbed into the shirt. That's called water base. For the most part, I mean, there's discharge, but I don't want to confuse anyone. That's kind of basic. So plastisol, if you could feel the ink, is the most widely used, and then there's water base. There's other applications like foil printing with kind of the gold or silver foil and that sort of thing. But plastisol and water base. Now, if the printers aren't curing the ink on plastisol correctly, you could definitely have product where it washes away after like maybe even one wash, but definitely after 3 or 4 if they're not drying the shirts correctly. So yeah, you want to if you want to test product, especially once in a while after you have a printer that you know is dependable, then you kind of have your go-to. But having owned a shop, I'll tell you that everybody makes mistakes, and again, it's a blue collar work, so there's people printing, even if you're running not a manual but an auto press, like a 16 head, like it's still someone human running that and putting the ink and running it through the dryer, etc. So you want to watch out for the finishing of all of that product. That's why quality control exists, especially when you have super big companies, right? Like when we're doing cut and sew, we have quality control out there in China that checks the product before they send it out to us as kind of an insurance. So like a third party. But you want to do that to your own stuff. So make sure once in a while you grab your shirts and wash it after it's been printed. Also, just opening the boxes and taking a quick gander, maybe doing a quick count at the printer before you leave, so you can make sure there's no problems. Because if you find out after and a week later you're like, hey, I picked up those shirts and I'm shorted 10, or I mean just all kinds of things, that if you can kind of take 5 to 10 minutes real quick to look through it and have your printer used to that you're going to do a quick inspection before you leave, that's a good best practice to use when you're getting your t-shirts printed. Hope that helps. Anything to add? Any other questions about screen printing or clothing line in general? You guys know the deal. I don't comment on all of them, but I do read all of them because I have a crazy schedule. But thank you guys for the interaction. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.